Peter and Hutch live on a Tuesday as opposed to last week. Live on a day where Scotland's going to the World Cup, Jake.
Hey, now.
Were you watching the Scotland-Denmark match?
No, but you sent me Scott McTominay's bicycle kick and got me fired up.
Jake,
it got me fired up.
It got crazier from there. They gave up the equalizer. They had to win. Otherwise, they went to the World Cup playoffs. If you know anything about Scottish football, they weren't getting out of those playoffs. Doesn't matter how much better they were. They give up an equalizer. Then they get a red card against Denmark. They go up ahead. 3 minutes later, they let up another equalizer. 89th minute, Scotland scores. Going to the World Cup. Add another one just for good measure. Alameda, just down the street, the old Raiders facility, is going to host a World Cup team. I have made it very clear that we want Scotland. We are willing to house the entire Scottish national team in this house with 3 Scots and me. We will take the 26 more Scots up the Tartan Army. And the Niners are the team that we obsessively talk about, Jake. Just wanted to get that off my chest.
I love that. I love that for you, and I'm all for it.
They play a god-awful brand of football. Let me tell you.
Listen, I've got a distant part of my family that's Scottish. I don't know what percentage it is, but hey.
I'm 0% Scotland, but I've created 2 of them. So
that's right.
Transitive property, right? They're I'm their anchor baby. Okay, Niners, Cardinals, second, third watch. What an unprofessional performance from Arizona. Like that's
not a serious team at this juncture at all.
It looked like I don't believe you were covering the team at the time. Do you remember? You remember Ben McAdoo, the former Giants head coach?
Yes. Ben McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo, strange-looking man. He looked like he was wearing like a wig. He was like a. You know who he looked like? He looked like the guy with alopecia from Arrested Development, who would wear like the fake eyelashes and stuff. That was, yeah. So Ben McAdoo, interesting cat. His team wanted to get him fired. They fly to Santa Clara, California, and they're like, "We're not leaving with him. Like, we're not doing this anymore."
Nope.
I bring it up maybe once or twice a season when I see just embarrassingly bad performances. This was a little bit of a different brand, but it gave me some McAdoo vibes. And we're not talking about James Michael, the former Warriors great.
Wow. Deep cut. I forgot about James Michael McAdoo. Yeah, Jonathan Gannon doing his pissy press conferences and then sitting on the sidelines with his arms crossed and being like, well, I can't hit my players anymore, so what do I do with this? He's like, when I had Kyler, I had a scapegoat, and then we made a change, and now we're still bad, and we're maybe worse. Number one, let me just do an Arizona note.
Lay it on me.
Go get a fucking left guard, because Evan Brown, the former Seahawk, played for almost every team in the league, he's terrible. I'm not just trying to rip on a guy randomly.
We don't know him personally.
But let me be clear. I've never given what's our guy? Jordan Elliott. I've never given him this high of a grade for pass rushing ever. He got the best. I do total grades where you stack up the total numbers. He had the second highest on the team, and then weighted per snap, highest pass rush grade on the team. Has never come close to that this season. And he was one-on-one, the third most he's had all year. And that was over left guard Evan Brown, who CJ West beat, mostly in slow motion. Alfred Collins whooped at one point.
Yeah.
Spencer Burford, another note, who should not be playing at left guard anymore, switching it back.
We're done with Burford. We're done with Evan Brown. We're done with Burford. Left guards are on parade today.
We're moving to the left guard for the Niners. Spencer Burford, who's been rotating with Ben Barch, should be on the bench, I think, at this point.
Tell me why.
Barch has been doing a much better job. Barch definitely has some whiff potential. He was not perfect, despite what some stats show. He got whooped on one play by Walter Nolan.
This is why you go to Jake for your grades, folks.
That's another note. We'll get there. But Burford, there's just too much whiff, particularly in the run game, like really big whiff. And that's all to say he would be a major upgrade for the Arizona Cardinals at left guard today.
You'd play a matchmaker now?
Yes. Send him to Arizona.
I got a off
trade deadline
and slightly used No, it isn't. No, for a special dispensation. It's like the all-time quarterback rule for Joe Flacco. If you need one, you can have Flacco. He's not going to be a backup anywhere. Just find a spot for him. Okay. What else stood out? What else from the line play rung true to you? Because I'll just throw one your way. I really, with the caveat that you have laid on us multiple times, they were playing an Arizona Cardinals team that was not prepared, and even if they were prepared, is not very good. That said, I like the Alfred Collins CJ West combo. I dig it.
I'm with you. It's something where I'm like, all right, are those going to be wins against better guards? Probably not. Yeah. But particularly, they had one play in the run game where Collins got upfield quick and basically took out the guard who was blocking, or the center who was blocking CJ West. And then West, who is not a fast man, but somehow has range and closes distance quickly. You know what I mean?
He's a marathon runner, not a sprinter. So if you ever watched, like, I don't know, maybe you've watched a full marathon, but I actually have recently gotten into like watching marathon highlights on YouTube.
Don't share that with the audience.
It's just a thing. It's just a thing, right? You know, most of the time we're just trying to find something to have on in the background, so that we don't have to directly watch our children and our minds are numb. And there's something incredible about just the constant surprise of how fast are they going? They don't look like they're going fast at all. And they're like, oh yeah, he just ran like a 4:20 mile. It's like, Jesus Christ. And they're just sort of like speed walking.
By the way,
don't
run marathons.
No, it's really, the human body says no.
No, it's one of it. It's like almost guaranteed to give you cancer. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
Wow. I know a guy who runs ultras.
Yeah, that's not good.
50 and 100 miles.
Get his colon checked.
I'm not sure. Is it a colon thing?
Yeah, it's either a colon or something like that, where it's like there's a weird connection where it's like a very high rate with sprint.
Well, I'm going to live forever then, buddy.
Yeah, not an issue for me either.
I don't think I can get 6 blocks right now. I could walk like 10 miles, but I don't think I could run 6 blocks, which might disqualify me for giving any athletic advice from here on out. Maybe we should work on that. We're going to do a couch to 5K whenever we get the chance. CJ West does not move fast, but does move.
Yeah, and I think those two guys are, again, we said it a few weeks ago that they're starting to get it, and then West was sort of inactive. Collins got hurt. They just have a much better presence in terms of like taking on double teams. West got beat a couple weeks ago a few times, or maybe it was even last week, where it was late in the game and he started going sideways. But like I saw him rip through one in this game that I was really like, he wasn't involved in the play, but he took on a double team and split it. Like there's a lot of mass and strength that is just hard to displace. Yes. And I think that's going to take them a long way. Maybe not this year, probably not this year.
No.
But in years to come, like there's a lot to like. And I think they're improving. And again, there's going to be ups and downs with these rookies, but I really like what I saw.
Well, and to be fair, I would argue that the 49ers have in fact done that. And they're betting on the little guy. The problem is the little guy had MVP votes before they had to make that bet.
Bryce Young's 5'10". Purdy is at least 6 foot.
Pearsall's tall. Well, actually, I'm interested. I would imagine it won't be Monday. I would imagine that at some point here in the final, they might not. I don't know what the TV schedule is like. They might get a Drew Brees game because Drew Brees took over for Mark Sanchez for reasons I can't quite explain. Don't know what happened there with Mark Sanchez.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah. So they have the home game against the Titans is a Fox game. That's it. That's their only obvious Fox game.
They've got a weird schedule down the stretch.
Monday Night Football on the road in Cleveland, CBS. Home against the Titans, Fox 125.
Monday night again.
Monday night again. Sunday night the following. And then week 18 to be determined. That can be a Saturday game. It will most likely be Sunday Night Football. I just kind of having taken a quick look at the schedule.
They're gonna want that one. They're gonna want a lot of eyeballs on that one.
They're gonna want that one. So yeah, we might not get the Drew Brees game, but I need the Drew Brees game because I need to see how tall Brock Purdy is compared to Drew Brees.
Oh, how
That's what
tall
I
is Drew
want.
Brees? 6'2", 6'1"?
He was listed at 6. He was closer to 5'11", 5'10". Brock
I
is
bet he's
listed.
taller than. I bet he's slightly taller than Drew Brees.
I think so too. But again, it's kind of like Victor Wembanyama is actually 7'8". He just
Right.
won't stop growing.
The
And Kevin
NBA is
Durant.
crazy with those heights.
Kevin Durant's listed at 6'9". Kevin Durant and I, born on the same day, 1988. And don't laugh at me for being born in the 80s. And then
I wasn't going to.
well, I felt it. I felt it. I feel it every day. I'm the one who has to comb this rapidly graying hair. And luckily I have some. But if this shampoo works, that will remain. So it's falling apart over here, folks. Not just the show, but also my life and body. But yeah, Kevin Durant and I both born on the same day, in the box score listed at the same height. Kevin Durant, I had to look up to talk to. Listed at 6'9". That dude is 7'1". Like, I know what a 7-footer is. I look down to talk to Draymond. I look up to talk to Kevin Durant. Somehow they're in the same ballpark in height. Not even close. You saw Draymond looking up at Victor the other day. I mean, he looked like a toddler.
Yeah, I don't think people should be that tall.
Well, and I think that Victor Wembanyama's constant injuries might actually prove that people should not be that tall. He is, I believe, the 31st tallest person on the planet. Is that true? There's a Wikipedia page of the tallest people on the planet, and everyone above him, save for the kid from Florida.
Because he grew like 2 inches over the summer or something.
I believe it was closer to 4. And then, yeah.
That's terrifying.
There's a kid like Oliver Giroux or something, French-Canadian kid who plays at Florida, who's listed at 7'7".
Jesus.
Or even taller. He's the only other one on the list, save for, I believe, a Iranian volleyball player. But the Iranian volleyball player plays Paralympics. So he plays volleyball on the floor. Which, by the way, Paralympic volleyball, kind of a badass watch. They're all just kind of scooting around on the floor.
You've been watching a lot of interesting sports.
I've been living in a weird spot, my friend. So yeah, we're learning about Iranian volleyball players in the Paralympics today. Any other 49ers thoughts that we want to get in? Because I feel like, seeing as the stream has completely gone to hell, we should get this thing buttoned up a little bit.
I guess post it, yeah.
Now I guess we're back. Jesus Christ.
I guess we're back. Who knows? I will say,
to be fair, I think it's a Cloudflare issue or Cloudflare issue. They had a huge thing today.
The one other note, Curtis Robinson, I think totally fine.
Totally fine.
In terms of grades, I think I'm also going to do a bonus on him and Pearsall for the Hutch Report. Occasionally, I do bonus grades, and sometimes I decide not to because I don't want to, and it's my thing, and I decide what to do with it. But Curtis Robinson, you think he's fine? I'm not impressed really with his speed. I think he's not quite Luke Gifford, but also like Tatum Bethune's not moving all that quick either. I think he's a pretty sure tackler. I think he gets good depth in coverage. I think he's got a good feel there. I don't really love it in the run screen game. I don't necessarily see the same violence that Bethune brings, which could be an issue. But I think it will probably be fine. It'll be okay.
About Big Nickel?
I don't know how I feel about Big Nickel. I'm not a huge Jason Pinnock fan. I think
I'm all in on it. I think they have to do it.
I think they should do it with Jair Brown in the box again, like they did at the start of the season.
That's exactly what I thought. I think you throw Siegel and Malik back there, and you throw Jair into the box, and I think that elevates.
I think that's a great recipe. I think that's the best defense they can put out there
as of right now. How would you utilize Nick Martin moving forward? You have to utilize him some way. You don't have enough talent.
Yeah, just in base. I would just have him in base.
That's about it. See, that's my issue. He's too small to play Sam. Like, you're asking him to play a position that's inherently requiring him to be much larger than he is. If you could play him at will, then yeah, because Will is kind of free flowing. But you can't ask Winters. They've asked Winters to come off the field for Big Nickel, which was actually more like a big dime. That's stupid. He's arguably your best defender right now, at least in the box. And so he's coming off the field. I don't think he cross-trained at Sam. I certainly don't think he can play Mike.
Right.
And maybe he can, but he hasn't prepared for that at all, and they certainly don't trust him to wear the dot. So
It's tough because, like, I think Martin's a huge liability on some of those runs where he's, like, close to the line of scrimmage and
right,
he's cleared out, and he's like, that's what Gifford is supposed to do, is, like, just hold the edge
right,
as, like, a fifth edge rusher.
4-3 over, yeah.
But I do think blitzing Martin can really bear out some results for this team, and I think because they have athletic defensive ends, there's a way that they can potentially replace in coverage, whether it's Samo or Bryce Huff or whoever it is dropping into coverage with some unique looks. And again, is that going to be a viable way to, like, run your defense every down? No, but I think of as like a change of pace, it can work.
How
And
about
I think you
this?
need to find out what he is.
Well, I don't know if they
I guess
can
we
find
won't.
out what he is
Yeah, probably.
because
I take that back. We won't find
yeah,
out.
because he's locked into one position. So now you're making him a gadget player. I don't think that you can play big nickel with him because though maybe that's the argument. Maybe I'm overthinking it. And if you can play Jason Pinnock as effectively as Sam, then why can't you play Nick Martin there? Probably coverage. Probably that's probably the answer.
Did you hear the broadcast being like, man, he's just, like, quoting Robert Saleh? They're like, he's just a ball of clay. I just can't. It's like, that's your way of saying he's not good at football right now.
Right
But
now.
like,
Right now.
right.
They
but
said the same thing
upside
about
is enormous.
Collins, to be fair. And where are
True,
we at
but
with Collins? Like, you can see it starting to mold into
true.
something.
But he's also played a lot, and you also knew he was going to be a project going in. But he also had the just pure size and production at Texas, dealing
Yeah.
with NFL caliber players, to be like, okay, this is a pick that makes sense.
Yeah, he didn't have a full year off. He wasn't playing in the Big 12 where linebacker play is sort of a theory more than a practice.
Right. The tough part is, realistically, it was like, and I think we talked about this, or maybe I talked about it with Matt Barrows. Like,
Yeah.
they were kind of thinking like, okay, maybe D Winters isn't it, and if D Winters isn't it, it'll be this
100%.
kid. His positions will, but D
100%.
Winters has been great, so they go, there's not really a role for him. Let's try him at Sam, but again, he's not big enough to be that big body for Sam. So what's the point when we can just play a safety who's like the same size as him there, who knows the defense a little better? It's a weird position.
Super weird. I don't know if I've brought this up on this stream. We're too far out there. We talk to too many people other than each other, though sometimes it doesn't seem like it. I was discussing the D Winters. Oh, I was talking about this on KMBR. Like, the idea that D Winters hasn't been the biggest surprise for the 49ers this year in a positive way is complete revisionist history to me, because the Niners, yes, publicly constantly said the right thing, but in their actions were consistently betting against him being anything for them. In that, okay, maybe they didn't give Dre Greenlaw the contract that Dre Greenlaw wanted, but they went and pleaded for him to come back, and they gave him a better offer at that meeting. Was it the Denver offer? That depends on who you ask, but it wasn't more than the Denver offer, and it wasn't enough for Dre Greenlaw to back out of the deal with Denver, where he thought he would be, the alpha of that defense moving forward. He wanted that opportunity, maybe even more so than the money. So that happened. Then they go, oh, well, you know what? We're fine. We really like D Winters. We're just going to overdraft a guy who can only play weak side linebacker with pick 75. We're going to act desperate to get a weak side linebacker and overdraft this guy, because if we don't get a weak side linebacker early, we might be in a position where we have no weak side linebackers we trust going into the season. Now, of course, that ended up being the case with Martin, and only Winters saved their ass from that. But this was their panicked logic on pick 75. We have to get a weak side linebacker because we don't have one. Pick the wrong guy, but that was their logic. They get into camp. They start talking up D Winters like he's the second coming of Fred Warner. I'm not being hyperbolic there. What did Johnny Holland tell you?
Oh yeah, he said D Winters is the best coverage linebacker we have.
Okay, I will agree that he is really good at covering the flat, backwards,
Agreed,
towards the middle. There's this guy named Warner who's pretty good. Now Jake's frozen. Jesus. No, you're back.
Frozen?
Yeah, you froze for a second. Technology, day and age. Luckily, it's only the year 2025. It's all new. So yeah, then they get into camp, and Winters, to his credit, kicked ass in camp and kicked ass in the preseason. He gets into the season, and he kicks ass from the jump. Then Fred goes out, and that is where, it was stuff that we didn't talk about publicly because you don't want to put, you don't know. But inside the house, they had to have been like, oh, shit. Was he getting covered for this entire time? Which the tape didn't bear out, but you just don't know. It's more responsibility, more onus, all this stuff. He's been even better since Fred has been out. He's playing at a Pro Bowl caliber right now, which is not a high level, seeing as Mac Jones.
Yeah, he's been monumental for this team,
He's
particularly awesome in coverage and like just closing down a lot of stuff where they're leaving. I also think Salah's gotten simpler in coverage as the season has gone on. It's particularly against like a team like this where they ran cover 3, cover 4, and we're like, we're not going to do any complicated stuff. We're just going to like.
You can do that when you're up 21.
Also, that's another note from the whole game.
Yeah.
None of those numbers that the Cardinals put up looked real at all, or like they were like, I would say the Niners defense played well. Can I say that? Like,
I think it's fair. Every time the Cardinals had to do something on offense, they turned the ball over.
Right. And a lot of those yards just came late where the Niners are like, this game has been over for 3 quarters.
A lot of those yards came in when they're like, let's try out Nick Martin at linebacker.
Right. There was
kind of a direct correlation between Gifford being on the field.
I did send you one. I did send you one where they were playing. I think it was cover 3. Yeah. Actually, no, it might have been cover 2. And Nick Martin was just like dropping 5.5 yards behind everyone else. And I'm like, that's not the right depth.
No. It is going to be something that might not show up until week 16. We might not talk about the 49ers linebackers until week 16, but Shane Steichen ain't getting got by these guys.
No.
And that's with Winters being awesome. But here's Tyler Warren hitting the flat and all the cool little things that they do to get him the ball, which is a lot different. I mean, they get him the ball in the flat a lot. They also push him out deep a little bit. He's very similar to McBride as a receiver, but the way that they do it for the Colts is so much more interesting. There's so much more eye candy to it.
And we're going to see some like direct handoffs to the big old moose they have back there.
Hell yeah. I'll also note that you have Njoku and Harold Fannin out of the backfield. It might not matter because of the quarterback play, but those are 2 guys who can really challenge linebackers.
Well, you can be sure Stefanski's going to try and simplify it as much as he can.
I mean, it might be Gabriel by then, to be fair.
Probably will be.
But it won't. I don't think it will be an issue with, is it Tommy Tremble?
So someone was putting it out there that Stefanski is like worried for his job and the idea of like Dion coming in to replace him, whatever. I don't really.
Oh, what I wouldn't give so that we never have to let everyone in the world talk about the Cleveland Browns at all times. So that we never have to, because it's just inconsequential.
But
also, definitely get Myles Garrett on the trade block.
There is like not so much a conspiracy, but like the idea that he hates having to have Shador on his team and what he brings and the distraction he brings. Is there an argument he would intentionally call poor plays with Shador making his debut?
He'd McAdoo Shador.
Just saying, he's a pretty sharp guy.
I note that if Kevin Stefanski's worried for his job, he should stop. Like, just let this happen and move on with your life. This is a toxic relationship. You've won Coach of the Year twice. Do you think that's your fault that you've been in the running the running for a second time? Do you think you forgot how to coach in between, or do you think you're the head coach of the Cleveland fucking Browns? The epitome of ineptitude at the NFL level. And I say that having just watched the Cardinals do some Cardinal stuff. By the way, I would give nothing more than to see Dion Sanders as the head coach of he's currently the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, of the Cleveland Browns. They're currently 3-7. Dion is doing an objectively bad job this year. They're getting smoked every time they play. For him to somehow parlay that into a promotion, like, respect to him, like, you do what you got to do. But wouldn't that just be the ultimate sign of there is no such thing as quality anymore? It's just who can get the most attention. Like, isn't that the ultimate sign of, hey,
Yeah.
we're not even trying anymore? We're going full Jerry Jones. At least Jerry tries to put a competent football team out there. He can't, but he
Right.
tries. But it's all about getting the attention, staying in the limelight. The Cleveland Browns are just giving up on good football and will instead just go to be the team that Stephen A. Smith talks about most. Like, come on, do it, so
Yeah.
that I never even have to pretend that you could be serious moving forward.
That would be. It's funny because like there's like no logical reason the Niners should lose to them, but I still feel in my heart that it will happen.
Yeah, Jim Schwartz. I'm excited to get into that tape. We'll have a short week to do it, but I'm excited to get into that tape.
So am I. Should we hit some questions?
God, what I wouldn't give for some questions right now, Jake. You want to throw some up?
Yeah. I'm just going to start from the front. We're not talking about where this is coming from, but Benali has mentioned that a certain site graded Justin Fields higher than Brock Purdy this week. Just going to leave that there and move on.
Justin
awesome
Fields,
stuff.
the Jets quarterback, the financier.
You beat me to it. PDX 49er, welcome to the channel.
Hey.
Winters is by default our best coverage linebacker.
He's the only one who can cover.
Correct. Especially with Warner not out there. And I did press Johnny Holland on that and went, sorry, excuse me, what the fuck? Excuse me, I beg your pardon. What did you just say?
I'm sorry. Are you currently having a stroke?
Are you serious? And he went, well, he's better at running backs, and Fred's probably better at tight ends. But didn't say Fred is definitely better. He said Fred's probably better. When Fred Warner is like clearly a top 5 coverage linebacker in the league.
They have like a vision board. They're trying. Remember The Secret? That's if you just keep saying it, it might manifest to be true at some point. Johnny Holland likes to do that. He loves to lie.
He loves to lie. Mike Rudd mentions that, the completion ratio at the end of the third was like half of what Brissett got by the final. Also, he mentions, what's this about? What's this about, Dieter? How'd you throw me under the bus with Larry?
I don't even remember.
Just blacked out?
No, I mean, to a degree, yes. How'd I throw you under the bus? I don't know.
I certainly didn't watch.
Oh, I did throw you under the bus. I threw you under a literal bus. I made the argument that if you were to put a normal person out on a football field, they would immediately die. You were my example.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
No, I said I would die too. I'm twice your size.
Right. I mean, I'm not built for that. No.
Every rib in your body would explode.
Juwan Jennings was playing with 5 broken ribs.
Yeah. I mean, 2 collapsed lungs, instantaneously death. It is. I bring it up every now and again.
So brutally concussed, I'm a different person.
Well, that we might be better off for that.
Because I'm diving away from the contact.
Yeah. No, I when people say it's like a car crash at the end of every play, I cannot express to you enough how absolutely true that is.
Yeah.
It is emotionally jarring, pardon the pun, being that close to a real, like being on the sideline for an NFL game will change you as a person. Like I still every now and again, I got rear-ended on 880, no problems, barely felt it. And I'm still a little like uneasy when someone's coming up a little bit close on the highway. Imagine like the level of insane you have to be to consistently put yourself in car crash. Like they become numb to it. Anyone on the outside will legitimately wonder how they're functional humans how anyone walks away. The fact that Christian McCaffrey pops up from some of these hits on TV,
he's developed a pretty good strategy of like the way he like tunnels through and takes more of it to the shoulders. But like, he's taking shots.
He is hockey players, really great hockey players. Figure out a way to they can do these little deft moves at the last second to avoid a hit going from like a big one to catastrophic, like totally going to injure yourself. It's those little small things. Great players. What's up with Tucker?
Sorry, my dog woke up and just started humping the air and got confused and went back to sleep. I was like, what's happening behind me? And he's like, I'm good.
The stream's shutting down. Tucker's fucking something.
I don't know what's happening.
It's a hell of a stream.
Couch Chipto mentions, it should be fair. I am a kicker. I shouldn't really be taking much contact.
You're protected. You're protected by the law, unless you're Eddie Pinheiro.
That's right. What else we got?
You know what? We haven't talked about that. Eddie Pinheiro trying to do something there.
That was insane.
I appreciate the stones. Stupid.
It didn't. It's unclear if that was the play he got hurt on because he kicked another one after,
Yeah,
but it didn't help. It
didn't help. He got rocked. He got like suplexed a little bit. They
Yeah,
brought him up off the ground.
he was woozy getting up. He was like, "Okay, give me a sec."
I can't
I,
blame him. I mean,
I
you
don't know
broke.
what he thought he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
Benali, is Washington signing Kinlaw Moody confirmation? It was Adam Peters all along. It is incredible. We were laughing about the fact that we're like, you had to sign Jake Moody,
Yeah.
Adam.
No new scouting. Do you think that when Peters, I wonder who the impetus was. So let's not forget that Peters was hired by Josh Harris, the owner of the Commanders, and his right hand man in the process was my friend Bob Myers, former Warriors GM.
Right.
And Myers, because Bob Myers is about the most affable person on the planet, to the point where everyone thinks they're actually Bob Myers' friend, he would go down. He would spend time with the Niners. He would spend time with all the other teams in the Bay Area, try to pick up processes and all these things. Bob's the best. And whatever Bob does, he's successful at. But do you think during that time, John's talking about how much he loves Peters and how he can't do it without Peters.
Right.
Do you and the Niners are just buzzing, right? They look like this near dynastic operation, and in such a positive environment. And you're taking over a Washington team that's been the most toxic, just everyone wants to die environment for the last 25 years. I know a couple people who worked there, and it's just like everyone got brought down to the Redskins level at a certain point. And they had to change the culture entirely. Do you think that they hired Adam Peters on the principle of, can you recreate the 49ers? Or do you think Adam Peters sold the Commanders on, hey, I'll recreate the Niners? Because clearly somebody wanted this, and that's what's happening.
That's sort of a chicken or the egg question. I think it's like,
yes, it is.
It's somebody whose name has been out there for years about he's the one calling the shots for the Niners, and look at what they're doing. I think makes plenty of sense.
Kind of was. I mean, it kind of was. And at the same time, is that a big deal?
Right. Yeah. Fair question.
But yeah, if you want to know how much Adam Peters was calling the shots, it's not in how Adam Peters is operating with the Commanders right now. It's how the 49ers operated around the draft, where they're like, we're going to let our coaches do it.
That was
Bob Saleh gets to pick 5 guys.
Right.
So and
we're Bob's in charge of the draft.
I don't have to. It wasn't even like, oh, that leaked out. It would have been better if it leaked out. It would have been better if that was like a salacious story that someone wrote. No, they tweeted it. Worked on that story for years, and he just tweeted it out.
Sorry, got to move on to some more questions. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Griff, apparently
there's
not a rumor. That's what Kyle said weeks ago. Is that
factual statement? He said it on Monday.
They're going to open it and then they're going to close it. They're going to get him 4 weeks of practice, and then they're probably going to shut him back down. That has always been the plan because there's no real roster spots for him, and they were always going to redshirt him. But why not get him 4 weeks of practice?
Right. And it's especially I think that this was something concurrent with the Adrian Martinez practice squad thing. They weren't certain he was going to get back. That's the way they had to do it. No complaints about them doing.
Do you get an extra week with the bye? I forget if it's games or if it's weeks, because the NFL changed it a few years ago. I should know this, but they changed it.
We'll look that up.
So,
I don't think Curtis Rourke is going to be a player that we're going to have to worry too much about. I do think he'll be the backup in 2 years. That's fine. I think that he can probably be
roster him as a QB3 next year, and then
it might end up practice squadding them because everyone's going to get their new quarterbacks at the draft, and then they can just, look at that, we waived him, and then look at that, he's on the practice squad, and he's a 7th round pick. So is there going to be a bunch of teams clamoring for it? Probably not. I think Curtis Rourke is fine. I think it was a smart pick then, and listen, I think that in this time next year, I think we'd all prefer to have Curtis Rourke over Adrian Martinez if all hell breaks loose. I do not think, though, that he is some impetus to then getting Mac Jones traded. I do think that
I don't think they're going to do that.
This hypothetical Mac Jones trade, I feel like it's one of those stories that makes sense in the abstract, and then it's talked about so much it becomes like this statement of future truth, and it's like it's not going to happen.
The problem is, if you're the Niners, you understand that you can win with him. He costs nothing. So
Yes.
for someone to make it worth your while, it has to be a day 2 pick. You wouldn't even consider it for a day 3 pick.
Right.
So I don't think a team offering a third rounder is out of the question, because it's something where, hey, there's like, what quarterback can we get for a third round pick? Probably nothing we can trust. Or maybe we're really high on one that falls to us, but that's unlikely. So you go, all right, we actually think we can win with him. He's cheap. Maybe we extend him on like half a Darnold deal for another year or two, like a sign and extend type of situation. And we get him for a third, and that's cheap. And the 49ers go, well, like, no, he's worth more than a third to us. Now, if it's a second, but is someone going to offer you a second for Mac Jones?
I really don't think so.
And I still, even if it's a second, the Niners might go, well, if Brock's out, we can still win. So we're going to ride that for another year.
And he's a smaller quarterback. Like, let's not pretend as if there's this idea that Brock Purdy is just going to play Josh Allen or even Justin Herbert, and he's this, massive dude that you can just rely on. You can't rely on anybody to play quarterback for 17 games a year.
Right.
Can I also just note that as much as Mac Jones endeared himself to Niners fans, and I'm not taking anything away from that, there is going to be the reverse stigma, right? So as much as Kyle can restore the reputation of a Sam Darnold to give him an opportunity in Minnesota, which, by the way, requires a KOC to buy in as well.
Right.
And also note, he wasn't supposed to be the starter for Minnesota last year. They were going to start J.J. McCarthy with Darnold as the backup.
Right.
J.J. McCarthy gets injured, misses the whole season. Darnold plays awesome, borderline MVP level. Then his career is salvaged. So it wasn't even the plan to buy in for a year. It was the plan to bring him in as a backup. They just paid him more than the Niners were going to pay him, and the Niners went back to the slot. There's also this idea that, Mac played so well. He did. He was a system quarterback, and I wrote this in my column yesterday. I don't think that people quite understand how different this offense is with Purdy at the helm than with Mac at the helm. And I could throw out a tremendous amount of numbers with you. I will not bore you with them. Suffice it, I'll give you 3. Purdy completes 37% more passes on 20-plus yard attempts than expected per NFL data. So Mac Jones is minus 11% under expectation on 20-plus air yards. Purdy's plus 27. That's the difference between top of the league and very bottom of the league. Okay? Quarterback ratings on passes over 20 yards in the air. This is this season. 106 for Purdy, 32 for Mac. That's worst in the NFL. Purdy already has 7 20-yard in-the-air completions on 10 attempts this season. So at 10% of the time, he's pushing it 20 yards or further down the field. He's completed 7 of them. Jones attempted 16, which is 5% of his total throws, and he had 4 completions. He was the worst deep ball thrower in the NFL this year, Jones. He was the second worst in the NFL last year, and the year before that, he was the worst. And you can say, well, his receivers sucked. That is true. But 1.6 average yards of separation for Mac Jones this season on deep throws. That's the exact same as what Purdy had last year. Purdy had a quarterback rating of 87 on those deep throws last year. Again, Jones, 32. So who's buying in on this?
Well, it goes back to, like, I think the thing people forgot about and what this offense needed is, like, could they function with Jimmy Garoppolo? Yeah, they could.
They went to
because Jimmy threw the ball on time and under 15 air yards, he was pretty accurate, right?
Yeah, and between the numbers.
In between the numbers, he was functional. His deep ball accuracy was dog shit, and he could not make off-schedule plays.
Right.
What Brock Purdy does is he pushes the ball down the field. He makes defenses account for different things, plays with elite anticipation, and he buys time and makes off-schedule plays. That's the difference. I think Mac this season is better than most of what Jimmy was, quite
Yes.
honestly.
Yes.
Because he can at least throw outside the numbers and just seem to understand what was asked of him more. But like, it's at the core of it, it's the limited offense versus the big picture offense, and you could see it a lot in like the checks and the different things they got to. So
You could
Max,
also see it in the
yeah,
defenses. They were starting to creep down. They were really starting to creep
yeah,
down. They had to go to a gap scheme to start running the ball. And you might say, well, that's because they weren't doing anything against zone. And that's true. They weren't. Even against too high. They kept talking about too high. Well, they stopped seeing too high. The team stopped doing it because they didn't feel that there was a threat there. We're doing the Garoppolo thing all over again. And it was so illuminating to see all the people wanting to rehash the Jimmy versus Purdy argument. And it's like, how is that something that we're adjudicating again?
no,
Like, Purdy won. He won handedly. And the idea that Mac Jones, it's because Mac looks better doing it because
he's also
bigger.
lovable.
He's a lovely guy, and he's a
You know?
great backup. And he could start for somebody else in the same way that Jacoby Brissett could start for somebody else.
What
But
do you
is some
think?
other team
What do you think it
buying
would take
that?
for the Niners to deal him?
It would
Would
be a
they do
second.
it?
I think
Yeah.
it would have to be a second. And I don't think anyone's going to do it. I don't think anyone's going to give him a day 2 pick, much less a second.
I think somebody might offer a third.
Okay. I don't think they should take it. I don't think they will, and I don't think they should.
What have they done with third round picks? I know that's not good process to base it on that, but
Fred Warner, Dominic Pooney, everything else has been lit on fire. Like, that's not good process. You have to believe that you're good at this, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
I'm with you.
I would also say, if you really do believe that Mac Jones has this robust marketplace, wait and get a comp pick for him. If you think that there's
and they will get a comp pick for him.
Right. Now, it might end up being, counterbalanced and only a 6th or a 7th.
Someone also said, like, what if he requests a trade? Like, okay.
Yeah, then you look into it. But he's a pro. He understands that he's got a good thing going. He signed a 2-year contract. That's not a surprise to him.
Yeah, he said explicitly that he like wanted to be he wanted to stop hating playing football.
And we also enjoyed it. I hate having to create this sort of binary scenario because Jimmy was a good quarterback for the 49ers. Mac Jones was a really good. The reason that they can make the playoffs this year is because of Mac Jones. If they want to do anything in the playoffs, if they want to make them, but the fact they have a chance to is incredible. If they want to make them, they need Brock Purdy. And if they want to do anything in them, they need Brock Purdy. And I do think this was an interesting point that Larry brought up. He kind of threw up the AFC NFC playoff picture right now, and it's early yet, but it is interesting to see some of the separation. AFC is dog shit. Like, I said this last night. I slept on it. I thought maybe that was a bit much. I think I would take the 49ers as currently constructed over any team in the AFC right now. In the playoff picture. I wouldn't take them over the Chiefs somehow, but they're not in the playoff picture. Would you take the Broncos over the Niners?
I was just looking at the Broncos. I think the Broncos are squirrely enough that they're just like the Broncos are just like brutal to play.
They're 9-2, and you're not quite sure if you would take the
I mean, they're not a good offense. They're a total mess. But at the same time, that defense is phenomenal. And they just bring you into deep waters, and Bo Nix is like, all right, I'll wake up for the last 2 minutes of the game and throw it to Troy Franklin, I guess.
It's an inverse Jackson Dart situation.
Right. Like, I don't trust the Chiefs at all. I don't but in the playoffs, obviously, you never want to face the Chiefs.
Do you trust the Patriots?
No, of course I don't trust the Patriots.
I don't trust the Patriots one lick.
I wouldn't
find
want to
out
face
with the Colts.
I don't care. Like, Josh Allen will lock in when it matters.
That's
great. I don't.
Who's coming with them? I mean, you want to talk? I think the Niners have a better defense than the Bills right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills don't have players.
They don't have a defense, and they don't have any receivers, and they have a great running back.
My dad texted me. I'm 1/8 Scottish.
Oh, fantastic! Good to know. Again, I've created 2, so I win. The Jaguars, come on now, let's get serious there. Chargers.
Yeah, it's a bad NFC.
AFC. The Chargers, but we're so used to it's like the 90s. I think whoever wins the NFC just wins the Super Bowl.
And I texted you. I think Kyle's probably sweating about McVay right now.
He really should.
Because him and LaFleur should probably be on the phone being like, what are we going to do?
How are we going to take this guy out?
How,
We can't have this.
Who are we going to sacrifice? He's like,
it would be a real.
They're going to have somebody break into his hyperbaric chamber and change the settings for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. That said, I mean, if I had to pick two teams right now, I'll take the Colts and the Seahawks.
To beat the Niners?
No, just like if I had to pick a Super Bowl, I'd take the Colts and the Seahawks.
I would still take the Rams. I mean, this is you picked the Seahawks at the start of the year. I picked the Rams.
Yeah, no, and I think that's totally fair. I think that I can make an argument for every team in the NFC. I can make a good case for the Packers if they actualize. Holy shit, like it's on. I don't know if they will. They hate the quarterback and the head coach seem to have a real issue.
Even from the start of the season, it's been a particularly dumb year where it has felt really stupid and wide open, which is why I understand some fans being like, I should have traded for someone. Again, they did. They quite literally did.
Keon White's just sitting here like, what'd I do?
He's been good. He's not been great, but he's been good, and there weren't other pieces. And anyway.
I wanted them to get Quentin Williams. With what? Sorry.
Have you ever called him Quinnen?
I don't know. Quentin Post?
All right. I feel like we should wrap this.
Yeah, sure. Jake, tell them where they can find you.
A Hutch Report. It will either be out in 2 hours, my next piece, or late tonight, but it's a good one. And I've got a playlist for you folks. It's probably the most deranged playlist I've made so far.
We're writing that down. Deranged list.
Deranged list.
And then I dropped off my entire family at the airport, and Daddy's going to the hockey game. That's what's happening tonight. Sharks and Mammoth. Let's do this thing.
Let me know how that is. All right,
it's going
to
be magnificent. We'll talk to you.
Talk to you later.